To help us conduct our first experiment of the year at the Triangle, Cameron Fugel arranged for his colleague, Brock Wilson, to fly a second helicopter out to the ranch.
Thanks for your help in bringing your beautiful machine out.
Thanks for having me.
I know we've spoken before and talked a little bit about the experiment that we want to perform in the air over the Triangle out there.
Yes.
Broadcasting some signals between the helicopters, also down to the ground. As Travis likes to say, you'll be flying a push broom pattern at various altitudes, starting at low altitude and going to high.
Yeah. And how high up are we going?
5,000 to 6,000 feet at the top end.
Okay.
Great.
Well, let's get these birds in the air.
All right, let's go to work.
I will be in Chopper 1 with Brock, and Eric will be in Chopper 2 with Thomas and Cameron. And we're going to ascend in a synchronized pattern to identify the actual size of the area above the triangle that we call the anomalous zone.
Got a GPS tracker here that I want to tape to your skids.
Okay.
This is where we've documented many anomalies, or strange occurrences, like UAPs, bizarre radio signals, and GPS errors between about 31 to 10,000 feet in the air. So as we ascend to various altitudes, I'm going to transmit a 1.6 gigahertz frequency signal over to Eric. That's a signal we've been detecting frequently on the ranch during many of our experiments. And it's left us baffled because that frequency is reserved by the military for tracking communications between satellites and the ground. So it's got us questioning who's making those transmissions on the ranch and why.
I'll have you hold on to that.
And since it's been an effective tool in past experiments, we're also planning to launch rockets to probe the area and try and stimulate phenomena to occur above the triangle.
What elevation are we at, Cameron?
We're at 700 feet, AGL. Hey guys, do you there right over the triangle?
Yep.
Right here.
All right, what do we got now? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, just came back in strong. They just passed us in the triangle.
I think that's where you lost it last time, was over there.
Yeah, I think we lost on the north edge.
That's the same spot they lost it last time. When the two helicopters reached 700 feet above the triangle, we finally saw that a clear pattern in the signal disruption was indeed occurring. Every time Cameron's helicopter passed through the northern region of the anomalous zone, the signal between the choppers was broken. So that made me think we should go up a lot higher to see what would happen next.
All right, I say we go up to 3,000 and we turn around, okay?
Okay, going up to 3,000.
Tell Brian he's good to launch.
Yeah, Dragon, you're good to launch.
Copy that. We'll go ahead and launch the rocket here.
Once we got up to 3,000 feet, it was time to launch a rocket to see if we could stimulate whatever this anomaly was to appear, or at least see if we could get some GPS data to pinpoint its position.
Rocket's going up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The rocket's away. The rocket's away.
Rocket's away, confirmed.
You see that GPS jump?
Yep.
Looks like he instantaneous changed altitude.
I don't think Brock did that. GPS data is showing the helicopter making this big jump. And what we're looking for with these blue dots is a consistent movement across the screen. So if there's anything outside of a regular interval between these dots, that's some anomalous activity. So we have a pretty good GPS anomaly right there, I'd say.
Dragon, we got no GPS position.
Looks like we're missing some data already. So we're missing GPS points? Is that what you're saying, Caleb? Yes.
Yeah, you are missing a lot of data.
I want to try transmitting this signal from a stationary position on the ground. Brock, drop me off at the triangle. Once I figured out that Eric was receiving my signal when his chopper was on the south side of the triangle, but then was blocked by something whenever he reached the north side, I wanted to see what would happen when I broadcast a signal from my generator on the ground to Eric in Chopper 2 in the air.
Hey, Cameron.
Can you get 300 feet above the triangle and see if you can pick up Travis's signal?
Roger.
Go ahead, radio up to him, Dragon. Tell him I'm in position. I am broadcasting.
Hey, Cameron, Travis is in position and he is broadcasting the 1.6. Confirming if you can see that signal or not.
Nothing. It's been completely clear. It's as if something's blocking that signal from coming up.
It's been completely clear. We're getting nothing.
They're getting something?
No, they're getting nothing.
They're getting nothing right there?
Sam, they're not getting anything right over us, and we're broadcasting from right here to there. They've got 300-foot line of sight.
So Travis is gonna walk out to the south of the triangle and have you pass over him and see if you pick it up away from the triangle.
Did you copy that, Eric?
Yeah, I got it.
Are they getting anything?
Are you guys picking anything up from here?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, Eric can see it now. Got it.
Yeah, he can see it.
He could see it here, but he couldn't see it there.
That's crazy.
So you were only about 300 feet above the triangle and couldn't pick it up, and now at 1,000 feet away, you're picking it up. That's interesting.
So once I got out far away from the triangle, the signal connection worked perfectly. As scientists, this is the kind of data that really excites Eric and me because it showed repeatedly that something we couldn't see was blocking the signal. But now, we have a lot of data to crunch and video files to scrub through to see if something even more impressive was captured today above the triangle.
What I'm going to show you is the live GPS data that was wirelessly streamed down during the flight. This is from Brock's helicopter. I've located the command center or the helipad here with a white feature. So, you know, the elephant in the room here, of course,
Where'd all the data go?
is, well, the gaps, exactly. Clearly, we don't have a fully continuous path here.
We knew that Cameron's GPS was malfunctioning or being blocked by something during the experiment. But seeing the gaps in Brock's GPS data was really baffling. According to our tracking system, Brock's helicopter literally disappeared and then reappeared. So what in the world did that mean?
I've got a clip that I want to show you from the skid of the helicopter looking downward. I'll just play it through. Tell me if you see.
This is Cameron's helicopter?
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
Right, it was across the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Back up, Eric.
Okay. Okay, I'm just taking it back one frame at a time.
There's a white
White streak right there.
Yeah. Leave it there a minute, Eric. I got to look at it with my eyeballs.
Do you see any internal structure there?
Well, so what you do see are two lines in the middle that are saturated, meaning they're as hot as they can be, or as bright as they can be.
So what does that tell you?
Well, so it tells me one of two things. There are either two structures to it, or it's two objects.
Wow.
We've seen all kinds of UAPs in the last few years above Skinwalker Ranch. Some have looked like orbs of light, and some have actually looked like they could be nuts and bolts crafts. But this one, or these two if they were separate objects, appeared to be physical crafts. So what was this, and was it related to all the signal disruptions that we experienced during the experiment? They're offset like this, right?
So we should see if that persists in the next frame.
Yeah, that's what I was going to see.
Okay.
Go a frame back or forward.
Forward. Okay, there it is.
Same thing, same thing.
You want to go one more?
Yep.
Okay, so you've got it right there.
Yep.
Now forward, and here we are again.
Same thing. Same thing.
Do we have an estimation on the size of the object?
Yeah, you can see that that's about the same length as the bed of the pickup truck.
That's a great scale comparison.
This is a short bed, so it's
5.5 foot.
There you go, 5.5 foot. So what you got there is a 5-foot object in the field of view of this camera.
Yeah.
Have we seen anything exactly like this before? I don't have a memory of seeing something exactly like this one.
I don't think exactly, no.
You know, a lot of what we see is either spherical or approximately spherical or kind of fuzzy. In this case, I don't think it has a precedent. I don't think we know what these things are. I'm not sure that we can classify them. But we're going to just continue collecting data of this kind every time we go to altitude and see if they form some kind of pattern.
We got to figure out where are they going to and where are they coming from. Hey, fellas, how are y'all?
Good. Good, Travis.
Good.
Well, Tim, here we are again.
Here we are.
Yeah, well, this time we want to put that energy again into the space with your laser space cannon and see if we can't stimulate a response.
Okay.
Especially given what we saw last time.
Yeah, you know, we haven't told you guys about this yet, but when you had the laser space cannons around the triangle here, what we saw in a long exposure photo, actually several of them, was up at about somewhere above probably, say, 100 feet. Something moved through the beam and blocked the beam. And it's huge, probably big as this tent.
Oh, that's
passed through the
incredible.
beams, so it stops the beam, you have a big blob where there's nothing, and the beam starts again.
Wow.
What is that?
What could do that?
For tonight, we're going to follow up on that as we always do. We're going to collect data not unlike what we did last time. And of course, I'll have all the assets trained on these locations so that we get a secondary perspective if something does in fact show up in our space.
Tonight, we'll repeat the laser experiment with just one laser cannon at the triangle to see if the same thing happens again. Only this time, we're also going to launch rockets up through that 100-foot space to see what they might hit.
Are you ready to make it bright again?
I am. Let's do it.
And we're going to go at dark.
Hey, Don.
There he is.
Welcome back.
We have something going on with the rockets. We are actually firing rockets straight up right above that launch tower. Literally, sparks are going to fly.
Okay. All right.
All right, we're going to do one last sort of safety sweep, and then I'll give you guys a yell when the laser guys are ready to turn on.
Okay.
Awesome.
I should probably get back over to the command center and make sure everything's trained on this area.
Eric, I've got a walkie, so we'll stay in close contact.
I got one too.
Okay.
We don't know exactly what to expect, but we're very interested in what we might see if we intersect something at that 100-foot level or perhaps even as high as 5,000 feet. We're directing the laser energy into the triangle, as we have in the past, because it might stimulate a response based on our experience to date.
I've got everything up and running, and I'm ready when you guys are.
Copy that.
Okay, Tim, you're ready to test.
Right, we're ready. Laser's coming on. Laser's on.
There you go. Guys, we are hitting something with the laser. Y'all look.
Is that clouds? I'm seeing stars.
Yeah, we're hitting something. You see the spot up there? It should just be a beam. What are we hitting?
I have no idea. It should be going higher than that. I don't think it should stop that low.
Just after we turned on the laser space cannon, the beam was cut off by an invisible obstruction. But rather than 100 feet high like 2 nights ago, this was at a much higher altitude. So is this something new? Or is it something that moves from one spot to another?
Eric, do you copy?
Yeah, go ahead, Travis.
We have turned on the space cannon, and it seems to be hitting something in the sky.
What in the hell?
Okay, copy.
I'm gonna dive in on that.
That is weird, man.
What the heck? My camera just went out. What the hell? My camera.
So, something's up to...
This camera is just not working. I pick up this night camera, and for whatever reason, every time I pick this camera up and start to film something of interest, it shuts itself off. I don't know what's going on with this camera. What's going on there that would cause this equipment to malfunction?
So while we were doing this, I went ahead and prepped a rocket with a chute in it. If we have the mobile launch pad out here, I'm wondering if we ought not, while that laser's hitting something, shoot a rocket up higher.
That's a great idea. Let's get it and go. Dragon's idea to launch a rocket up to where the laser was being blocked was perfectly timed. If we could get a rocket to hit that spot and something happened to it, maybe we could also finally get an image of whatever this obstruction was.
Eric, do you copy?
Yeah, go ahead, Travis.
We're gonna put a rocket through that spot right now.
Copy you. Thanks for that, Travis. I'm going to make sure I've got the cameras adjusted to capture the rocket launch. Thank you.
Hey, Thomas, do you copy?
Yeah, Travis, I'm up here on the mesa looking down on you guys.
See anything weird up there?
I'm not seeing anything unusual up here.
Copy that. Be advised, we're about to launch a rocket.
Copy that. We'll stay put until that rocket lands.
Everybody clear the area, clear the area.
Okay, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Did you see that thing take?
That thing took off and turned as far away from that laser beam as it could get.
Why didn't it go straight?
Good question. We had that launch rail pretty much straight up. There's no wind. That thing took off and it avoided that laser beam like the plague is what it looked like.
That thing completely took off away from the laser.
Travis, there's 2 bulbs on the end of the laser beam.
That's right, there sure is. The laser split in 2.
Oh, yeah, look, now there's 2. I have never seen that before.
Are we actually hitting the anomaly with a laser?
As if this experiment wasn't already crazy enough, just after our rocket seemed to veer away from the triangle, the invisible obstruction that was blocking NewSalt's laser suddenly looked like it was splitting the beam in 2. What was up there? And was it now morphing into something else?
Let's bring the lasers down.
Lasers coming down.
Tonight definitely didn't go as we planned. But on the other hand, what we witnessed was beyond what we thought was possible.
Tonight was special. There was a lot going on.
There was something about tonight, absolutely, I agree.
You brought those laser cannons out here 4 years in a row now, and we've never seen one hit anything and stop. That was new ground.
And I can't wait to see what the data tells us.
Yeah, it's been a night.
Hey, good night. Good night.
Hey guys.
Eric gathered us all in the command center to review Pete Kelsey's processed data from our laser experiment last night at the Triangle.
So what are we looking at here, Pete?
This is one of the terrestrial laser scans we did from our perspective at the Triangle.
Okay.
We're looking at an anomaly out in the East Fields.
What in the actual crap? That is insane.
What would account for the sharp lines coming down?
I don't know what it is, but there had to be something there for the LiDAR to detect it.
Whatever is there is as if it's invisible.
I'm seeing the swirl marks.
Yeah, look at this. What? Look at this smear all around us like we're inside a cone of something. Can you look up? It does go into a cone.
Look at that.
It is a cone.
Wow.
I mean, that is insane. You're inside it. We're all inside it.
Who'd have thought that a laser beam being stopped in midair would not be the strangest thing that we've seen?
That's right. Absolutely. This is incredible. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. If this turns out to be real measurements of some real phenomena, then we've measured something nobody has ever seen before, period, ever. Think about what that would mean.
Yeah, that if is one really big if. Well, look, led by the data. That's the data.
Dang right it is.
So we'll put our heads together. This is amazing. It's going to take me a while to get my head around this, to process what I've just been shown.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
It's excellent work, man. Great stuff.